This video is brought to you by morethanArealestateagent.com, your #1 source for real estate merch on the internet. Use code YouTube for 10% off your first order. All right, so before I move into my session here, where I'm going to show you guys how to become the gurus, for lack of a better word, at all things Google Ads. I completely forgot I am repping my HBCUs today. I got my ASU Hornet shirt on, Alabama State University in the building. I'm a big advocate of all things HBCU, and I'm a big advocate of keeping the dollars circulating. If you know, you know. We are going to talk about Google Ads here today. At the present time, just let me know with either a thumbs up emoji in the chat. How many of you currently use Google Ads in some capacity? Give me a thumbs up if you use it. Give me a thumbs down if you have not used Google Ads at the present time. All right, got one thumbs down. Okay, all right. So when all of you have talked with me in regards to what alignment looks like here at Real Brokerage, I have mentioned ad hominem to every single one of you that my objective for all of you, and those of you that are considering a pivot, is to look at 3 pillars. All right. I'm not going to tell you which pillar works best for you. That is a personal decision. But the 3 pillars are as follows. The first being video. Of course, video is the primary way that many of you found me. And that's also how my buyer and seller clients have also found me, was through video. It was a muscle that I had to work. I had my insecurities just like the rest of us, but I pushed through those insecurities, and it has been a pretty cool experience leveraging that particular pillar. But if you're not into being on video, or maybe you have another obligation work-wise that would conflict with you having a video presence anywhere because of, privacy or whatever, the second pillar that I talk through are making cold calls, which I'm going to have someone on the call in the next few weeks that is a cold call sensei, and they will talk through how to get more and more comfortable on the phone with complete strangers. The third pillar that I always talk about is actually putting a little bit of money up in regards to investing in your business. So if you came from a brokerage where you were currently paying a monthly fee just to hang your license at that brokerage, I'm not going to call any of them now, out at this call, because some of you are currently there. But one of the great things about being here at Real is that you have no monthly fee. So that savings, for me personally, I've been able to leverage and put that money that I was spending anyway towards running ads on Google. So it's one of those 3 pillars. And today we're going to talk about that specific pillar, and that's leveraging the power of ads. A few weeks ago, I had one of my partners, Gagan, and he talked about Facebook ads. And so Facebook is one option that's out there. But I love Google specifically because Google is the #1 search engine, which owns the #2 search engine, which is YouTube. So anything that I do through Google Ads, you can also leverage the power of YouTube and get some cross-pollination going. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you how to build an ad from scratch, some of the tips and strategies that I use to maximize the money that I put towards ads. And I also want to give you all a friendly reminder that you can put as little or as much as you comfortably want to towards ads. So if you typically get a Starbucks cappuccino, maybe holding off on that cappuccino and buying yourself a Keurig, but that $5 that you normally spend, maybe that can be your daily budget or your DoorDash budget. Whatever it is that you currently spend that is a luxury and not necessarily a necessity, maybe consider scaling back on that a little bit and using those same dollars towards your specific business. Because when we go to those different places, unfortunately, we are paying their bills instead of doing the things that we need to do to pay our bills, and that's to bring more buyer and seller clients into our universe. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to, I'm going to share my screen here. Give me a 1 in the chat once you see this. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to ads.google.com. Very straightforward. If you have a Gmail account, you have access to this. The way that you'll find it is if you're on Gmail, there are 6 buttons, 6 dots on the top right corner, and you'll click one of those dots. You'll click the dots, and it will show you the Google Ads logo. Very simple and straightforward to set up your first ad. You'll simply click Start Now. And so what Google's wanting to know, because Google wants you to continue to utilize their services. So they want to drive your presence, your face, your website, your social media, whatever it is that you want to start running ads on. They want to maximize it as effectively as possible. Some of you have asked me about, creating a YouTube channel, for example, and I talked about how YouTube needs to know how to serve your video to the right audience. So if you're talking about automobiles and then all of a sudden you start creating a bakery content, that's going to confuse the algorithm, and YouTube's not going to know how to serve your content to your possible audience. Well, their ads operate in the exact same way. So what is your objective? Is your objective to get more calls, get more website sales or leads? Of course, as real estate professionals, we're not selling anything. We want to generate leads. If you had a physical location, you'd use that tab. And of course, if you have a YouTube channel that you want to drive views to, you can actually create a Google ad towards this. I would tell you not to do that, because this option here, this is just me nerding out a little bit. Whenever you pay ads on a YouTube video, if some of you have home tour channels and you want to say, well, let me get some ads going on my home tour content, you want to leverage organic views to your video, because that's how YouTube will, again, once it knows what your content is about, it will serve it automatically to the right audience for free. So I don't want you spending money on trying to drive views and engagement. That's at the end of the day, that's just vanity metrics. And I've made $20,000 on a commission for a video on YouTube that had 50 views. So just continue creating your YouTube content, and your audience will find you. So for this particular ad campaign that I'm creating, I want to get more leads. So I'd click that box, which I did already, and then you simply click next. It's very straightforward. YouTube changes this from time to time, but it's very straightforward how to leverage this here. So if you want to get your customers to schedule an appointment with you, then this is the box that you'll tick. For me, I put my website contact link, livingingac.com/contact, but you may decide you want to put your Calendly link. Or if you have been rocking with me for some time, you know that I don't use Calendly. I use Google's version of Calendly, which is Google Calendar. If you want a client to fill out information, that way you can follow up with them, you can plug that in this information here. Of course, these other sections here are not relevant to what we do as far as requesting a quote or getting them to sign up or otherwise. But I would say stick to one of these two sections here. Either you want them to fill out a form that you will follow up with them on, or you want to direct them straight to your Calendly or your Google Calendar, which is what I would suggest that you do. You put that there. It's already pre-done for you here, asking if you want leads. Again, sales is if you have a product. Leads is what we want to drive to ourselves. So I would simply plug in, again, my Calendly, or in my case, I put my website, and then I click next. And so it has already gone on my website. Again, Google's got their tentacles in everything. So Google Ads has already crawled, is what it's called, my specific website, and it has created a few things that it thinks would be a good ad. For me personally, I don't want to just be known for Gwinnett County real estate. I'm licensed in the entire state of Georgia, as well as South Carolina. So what I would suggest doing here, if you were creating an ad, unless you wanted to niche down, which you can do, but just keep in mind when you niche down, the ads can be a little bit more expensive. So the broader you go, it may be more advantageous to you. It definitely will be cheaper if you go a little bit broader versus niching. And I'll show you in a few seconds here where you're going to want to niche down as far as where it's targeted. But I want this ad to say Atlanta Real Estate Pro. That's what I am. I'm your Atlanta Real Estate Pro. The second listing headline here, what I would say is maybe take a look, and I'll show you guys here now. I'm going to share my tab, and I'm going to type in right here Atlanta Real Estate Agent. All right. And what I'm going to do is these individuals here, Mr. Sanders Real Estate and Stacy Wyatt, they are currently running a Google ad, which is why I see their smiling faces here. But as I scroll through here a little bit, what I'm looking for exactly is what are some of the key buzzwords that they put in their particular listing that are why I'm seeing their information here when I type in Atlanta real estate agent. So let me niche it down just a little bit, and I'll do DeKalb, which is a county here in Atlanta, Georgia. DeKalb real estate agent. All right, so now I see Tracy Cosino. I've seen her billboards in Midtown, so she's all over the place. But she calls herself the Tracy Cosino Real Estate Expert Advisor. So she used the word expert advisor. I like that. So I may leverage that. The Shannon Sales Team. I like that. But what else am I seeing on here? So I don't see any other. So here's some more individuals that have run ads, and that's why I'm seeing Tariq Sanchez. This is actually a buddy of mine here, Mr. Tarek. He's actually a good friend of mine. And then I see the DeKalb Association of Realtors. So what I'm going to pull from this in my test ad here is I'm going to call myself an expert advisor. So we'll go back to my ad here, and then I will say your expert real estate agent. Again, you don't want to copy verbatim what you see. Let me try. I want to see if I get something different if I look in Houston. So if I type Houston realtor, I just want to see what pops in here. So your home sold, found realty, Houston properties team. So I don't see too many ads showing up on here. And that's probably because on my computer, I have an ad blocker. So it's probably a reason why I don't see too many ads at the present time. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that if you like what they've indicated on here already, you can keep it as is. But putting some keywords like this, your expert real estate agent, it just makes you look even better in a potential lead's eyes. So now as the description, I would type in something like get a free home evaluation today. I put that here under the description. And then maybe secondly, call me about, I'm doing this in real time, y'all. So that's why I'm going a little bit slower, because I want you all to watch this on the replay and implement this in your business today. But call me about down payment assistance options. Something real simple. So now I have spoken in my descriptions to two different types of clients. A seller client by offering them a free home evaluation, and a buyer op client to tell them to call me about down payment assistance options. Again, leveraging individuals like Mr. Daniel, which is also, I have a Daniel that I work with on my lender team. But these two options here are going to show this ad. And now whichever person is relevant to this description, they will give me a call in regards to it. And then I put my call button here, which is my lead mobile number here that leads call me from YouTube. And then I simply click next. So now it's asking me for images. So here, and I won't do this for time's sake, here you can pull images of yourself if you'd like. You can look up images in Canva that's specific to real estate. You can just simply type in Canva, go to the photos link and type in homes. And you can put a couple of images of that. I would say put yourself there, put your face there. And yes, Daniel, I'll get a copy of this to you. That's no problem. I'll get that to you. Monique, I'll send it to Monique and she'll get it to you. But you can put images here that are relevant to your real estate business. So if you have taken a couple of pictures professionally, maybe you've got pictures at a property or from your actual listing. At all of my listings and listings that I represent the buyer, I always try to take pictures from my closings and things of that nature, just to show social proof to the potential lead, so they know that they're working with a professional. If you're a new agent and you haven't had so many sales, that's okay. Maybe you just take some professional pictures, you pose in front of some very nice model homes, and those individuals will not be none the wiser, because at the end of the day, you're a real estate professional. You have a license. So whether you are brand new or you sell millions and millions of dollars of real estate, you just need those leads to reach out to you. And then it is your job to serve them at the highest level possible, like you are a multi-million dollar luxury agent. So I'm not going to go with what it's suggested here. As I mentioned, I would put in a couple of images personally from business that I've done. Logo here, I have my own logo, the Living in Georgia and South Carolina home team. So I put that there. If you don't have a logo, that's okay. You just go into the Real Marketing website, download the Real logo, the color that you like it, or your wherever brokerage you're at, and you'll plug that in here. I designed this logo in Canva. Canva does have an option that will come up with some pre-designed logos for you that you can customize, and you can put, Shabatica Real Estate or Brandon Simpson Realty, whatever you want. I suggest doing it in Canva. Don't pay anybody for that until you have a couple couple deals under your belt. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video and you are a real estate professional, consider partnering with me here at Real Brokerage. Pay nothing per month, get a fantastic split, and you have the opportunity to build a business through revenue share and stock purchases. Book a call at the link below in today's video, and I'm happy to have a conversation on why I was able to grow my business exponentially by moving my practice to Real Brokerage. All right, back to the video. Once you plug those in here, you'll click next. Okay, so it's asking me to select the logo. So I'm just doing this as a test here. And then let me plug this in here. So it's making me put in a logo. All right. All right. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm doing this in real time. So that's why it's going a little bit differently. Hold on one second. All right. I'm just gonna plug this in here. I just have what I just uploaded today on my YouTube channel. All right. Cool. All right. So I click done. All right, cool. So we got that. So we click next. Again, it'll be the easiest thing that you do today, y'all. You just got to do it. You just got to do it and dedicate that time to it, and you'll be up and running before you know it. All right, so we got that going there. All right, so we click next here. All right, and then it's going to ask you for a theme. All right, so we are real estate professionals, so I would suggest you put, whatever area you service. If it's at real estate, of course, if you're into loans or whatever you do, I put real estate agent here. You can also add Atlanta real estate or your respective state, of course, respective city and state. I'm also licensed, as I mentioned, in South Carolina. So I would put South Carolina real estate and then add agent at the end of that. And then click next. You can put as many keywords as you'd like, but I would say not to do too many of them, just like 2 or 3. So real estate agent, the city that you are operating in. You maybe even want to put the county. You could put Fulton County Realtor. You can put that in as well. So you can niche it down, but just don't put more than 3 or 4, because again, you want it to be very targeted in who sees your content. If you live in Athens, you don't want a client that's in Fayetteville to see your ads, or you may not mind the drive, but if you're in Athens and someone in Savannah sees your listing, well, that's not gonna work for you to serve them. Of course, you can refer that business out, but I would say keep it very niche. So now it's going to ask you where you want it to advertise. Now here's where you would get extremely niche. So I'm close to Athens, so I would put Gwinnett County, Walton County, Barrow County, and some parts of Jackson County. But if you wanted to focus a little bit closer into the city, or a specific address that you really want to get into and crack, then you can put that there. You can put that specific address. It could be your home address, for example. That way, the only people that see your ads are truly your neighbors. But for me, I would suggest these specific counties, because again, this is close to where I actually operate out of. So you'll simply click next. I mean, this is real easy, y'all. Super easy. But here's the part where I want you all to get very, very strategic. So as I mentioned to you, you can put any dollar amount. I wouldn't put $1, of course, but I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 to $10. What YouTube is going to do is what Google is going to do is it's going to try to maximize the amount of reach for whatever budget you put there. So that's why it's very important to be very strategic and specific in where you want your ads targeting. That way it's making the most of your 10, 5, 15, $20 budget. I would say for this, maybe look at, $15 a day, $20 a day if you can swing it. If that means you don't eat out a couple days during the week, you're investing in your business. And really all it takes is one individual to reach out to you that you get to the closing table for this to be completely worth it. So if you want to put $5, you can do that as well. And as it's showing you here, with this budget lower, your ads may not get noticeable results. So that's why I would say, personally speaking, if you can do more, then do more. So if I did $20 a day, I'm expecting what Google's going to do is promise me somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 350 clicks. So that's why it's very important that for me, I put my link to my buyer consultation client, my buyer consultation Calendly link, because I want these individuals to click that link and book a call with me as soon as possible. And then I will verify that they are legitimate, what their needs are, all that jazz. So here's the campaign. So here's where we can make some additional tweaks to it. At the time for this particular ad, I was running an ad on one of my listings here in Atlanta, but I can tweak all of that here if I would like to. As mentioned here, your keyword themes is where you'll want to be very niche down. Your daily budget, if you can do anywhere between $15 to $20 a day, I would strongly suggest that you look into, creating whatever you got to do to open up that budget just a little bit so that this is worth it. And my campaign goal is website traffic. All right. So if I'm ready to go, all I will do is just click next. And then I'll plug in my payment information. And then what'll happen is that Google will verify my identity, make sure it's legit, all that jazz. And then it will, once it's approved it will start running those ads. All right. So any questions so far?
Marvin, I do have two.
Go ahead.
The first one being, is there a end date that you can put that for your budget, your ad to run?
Yes, thank you. Great question. Who was that? I didn't see you pop
Michelle.
up. Oh, hey, Michelle. All right, awesome. Great question. All right, so here on the budget, what it'll do is, where is it? It's a way that you can adjust it here. Hold on one second. So the Google ad website, they do change this website fairly often. I know on Facebook you can set a stop date, but anytime you want to stop your ad, you can just go into the ads manager and stop the campaign. I'm not going to start this, and I don't have an ad going currently, but once I start this ad, because as soon as we get off, y'all, I'm going to actually run this. I'm going to tweak a few more things and run this, and then I'll circle back to you on that, Michelle, on how to stop it. But you can go in to stop it. I just don't have an ad actively running at the present time, so I can't show you where to stop it. But you can definitely stop it before it gets a little bit, expensive.
Okay, and then the second question is, how long would you suggest leaving an ad to run before you start seeing results or no results?
So I think that is very important. Great question. So I think that it's very important to do, y'all, what's called A/B testing. So let's say hypothetically, I'm spending my $20 a day and I'm getting I'm getting individuals that are reaching out, but maybe they're in different sections of the real estate process. Maybe they're just looky-looing and they just click my link for whatever reason and schedule a call. So personally, if I'm getting calls, and it's going to be a little bit of like fluff or crud of individuals, because anybody that Google thinks would benefit from this, and that's why it's going to be very important on the targeting section here to make sure that you put very specifically the type of things that you want people that are searching, that you want individuals that are looking for a real estate agent to find. So maybe putting Gwinnett County or Harris County, or wherever you are, homes, making sure that you're very, very specific in this keyword theme section. That way, if anyone is typing, looking for this, they're going to find you. And so I would give it at least a good 30 days before you make any adjustments. If anything, you may decide to lower your budget. But if you're getting a whole lot of calls and they are specific to the counties that you are serving, well, now you're seeing that it's working. So you may want to increase, what you're budgeting. But I would say pick a dollar amount that's nominal, again, $10 to $20. Let it run for 30 days. And if you don't get any specific opportunity from it, I would not say no longer run the ads, but maybe you change what you put in the ad. So hypothetically, instead of in your headlines, you put, Atlanta real estate pro, you can be very, very specific to a community that you want to serve. Let's say here in Cobb County, some of the most expensive homes are in the area of Alpharetta. That's some of the expensive homes here in Atlanta, as well as Cobb County. So maybe you get very specific, and even Google's even suggesting some for me here. So I could put home purchase real estate, estate agents in Barrow County. So it'll give you some suggestions, but I would suggest looking up other real estate agents on Google, typing in, Atlanta real estate agents. I have an ad blocker going, so that's why it's not showing so many of the ads. But if I go into incognito mode in Chrome, and I type, Atlanta real estate agent, Houston real estate agent, Arizona real estate agent, Maricopa County, where I know you're in, real estate agent, look and see what keywords they are using and use that as inspiration in your specific ad. Don't copy it verbatim unless it's an agent in a completely different state. Then you can use what they're using, and it won't conflict. But try it out for 30 days, maybe 2 weeks. If you don't have 30 days, try it for 2 weeks and then tweak it. And then you will begin to see, based on the type of individuals that reach out to you and call you, what they are seeing when they click your ad. So whenever someone calls me from one of these ads, I always ask them, well, how did you find me? And one lady told me she was looking up vegan real estate agents in Atlanta, and I'm vegan. I didn't put any of that in my Google My Business, but for whatever reason, it pulled me up, which was kind of dope. And so people will find you as you are active on your Google My Business profile page, which I suggest all of us here. If you do not have a Google Business profile page, definitely do that as well, because you can run these ads to send people to your Google Business page, send people to your Calendly. If you don't have a CRM like Lofty, like I do, then people need to have a way to get in contact with you and see that you are actively doing business. So that would be a short answer: at minimum 2 weeks, but at the most 30 days before you make any adjustments. Any other questions? Okay,
I
cool.
do
Oh, go
have
ahead.
one other quick one. I know we're at the time right now, so I'll make it quick. So
Okay.
you mentioned the Google business page. So what we're going through right now is not for the business page, correct?
Right. This is creating an ad on Google. So
Okay.
Google allows you to create what's called a GMB, Google My Business page, which is absolutely free. If you don't have a website, then you at minimum need to have a Google business page, y'all, because people are going to need to see that you are actively doing business. And if you're a brand new agent, as I mentioned to some of you, obviously if a person looks you up on Google My Business, they're not going to see any reviews. So I would suggest that you ask for professional reviews from your sphere, your friends, your sorority sisters, whatever, to speak to the professionalism of working with you and how, when they're ready to buy a home, they're going to reach out to you. The reason being is that I want you to be honest as real estate agents. If you are brand new, that's okay. Reach out to your network, create your Google My Business page. There's going to be a review section. Send that review link to your sphere and ask them to leave a review about the professionalism of you, of working with you, and how, if and when they're ready to buy and sell, they would plan to work with you, those kind of things. Of course, if you have actively sold real estate, then your clients should be leaving you reviews, as I try to ask these folks to do it, and they sometimes don't do it. But it's very important to have some type of presence, and the Google ads can drive traffic either to your Google business page, your website if you have it, or your Calendly if you have it. But I would say out of the three, Calendly, because that's going to get them directly on your calendar as quickly as possible so that you can talk to them, make sure that they're legitimate and not just trying to, I don't know, holler at you and stuff like that. Usually if you put them through some kind of filter, that will keep them from, that will keep the folks that are just, they're not about nothing from reaching out to you. So great question. All right, we are at the top of the hour. If you got value from this conversation and you plan on running your first ad, please put a 1 in the chat. I always like to know that these types of videos are extremely helpful to you. What I would say is it's very, very important to do something in your business. Again, one of the three pillars. If you are not ready to do video, I'm okay with that. If you have a side gig, a 9 to 5, you got some other direct stream of income, maybe look at creating some sort of budget that now you will target towards your online real estate presence by running some active ads. If you need any additional help on this and you're in our ecosystem, I will send you a really good YouTube video that will show you from start to finish how to create your first Google ad. It deep dives a little bit more into what I'm doing. It's just for time's sake. I don't have the ability to really go through everything, but I want you guys to win. I really, truly want you guys to win. And I want you to know that it's going to take some level of investment into your business. These clients are not just going to find us out of thin air as much as I would love them to. We're going to have to put just a little bit of money up. And again, if you don't have that money, that's okay. Go to the pillars that are free. Video is absolutely free. You can create a YouTube video from your smartphone. Create that Google My Business page today if you do not have it, and ask your sphere of influence and clients that you may have worked with before to go ahead and leave you a review.